Hello everyone and welcome to Rust City of Tarkov update video number 4. In this video, I've got quite a lot to show you. It is everything that I've been working on since the last update. Lots of changes to the map, some changes to the progression as well as the NPCs on the map, and it's some really exciting stuff. The update goes live on November 13th, which is a Thursday on 2 PM EDT time. If you want to be up to date with all the latest information about the servers, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, make sure you have the notifications of course, and make sure you're in the Discord because this is where I post most of the announcements. And if you do enjoy playing on the servers, make sure you check out the VIP store because servers are not cheap to run and you can also get some cool rewards on there. Alright, let's get straight into what this update contains, which the first thing is the factory rework. Now the factory has changed its position. It is slightly more to the right now of the big two towers, but the factory itself, it looks great. It looks much better than the original. The graphics just visually look much better, much cleaner as well. Bunch of new NPCs on that map as well. I'll talk more about NPCs later, but they've been moved around and shuffled, so you won't see the same ones at the same places every time now. There's new extracts as well, and changes to some of the old extracts. Now, since this map looks really all that good, it was very difficult to optimize this map because it's really detailed. So if you do experience sort of lags, spikes, or low FPS, make sure you're in the Discord, make sure to report that to me. Rust is a very CPU intense game, so it doesn't do very well when there's a lot of objects on the scene. So if you're experiencing any problems, make sure to report that to me because maybe I could find solutions for you. Now, I recommend that if you're planning to go on factory a lot, lower your render distance, your draw distance in the settings. That would really help with FPS. You can gain like 20 frames per second just from lowering that one to the minimum. Now, the new factory has a bunch of new tasks that you can do as well, and there's quite a lot of loot. I believe there's more loot than in the original location. Now, as you can see, so not only factory moved quite a little bit, there's also been a very big expansion to customs, because now all of the invisible walls that used to be around customs in certain areas have now been removed, so you can fully walk in between these areas. So the gate next to Crack House, for example, is now open with the RUAF roadblock. It's all open. And also the other side where factory used to be is now opened, and there's an entirely new industrial area where you can find the train minigame from Train Yard. You can find some loot, a bunch of cool stuff. And on the other side of that, there is the Woods expansion, which is the train depot that has been added to Tarkov about a year ago now, and I just got around to make it. It is very nice, lots of loot inside of it, but it is quite difficult to get in. There's a bunch of landmines all around, and when you see these stop signs and warning signs, make sure not to cross because you will explode. Now, there is a safe way to get in there. You can probably do it with a car, and probably also fire at the landmines to explode them similar to reserve, but that might not be the safest. One way you could do it is go from the bridge on the other side where the Ragman factory is, take a train and then drive that train over the bridge, climb on the train, climb on this little plank here, and then you can get in. And if you want to get out, you're going up on the roofs, similarly to Escape from Tarkov, and then you go up on the trains and you jump down and walk straight on the track. Now, another important change to the map is the reworked save zones. As you'll see, Mechanic Save Zone has been completely remade from the ground up, and it is a completely different location now. And the reason I've done that is because a lot of people would walk out of the old gas station, then would get instantly shot by the turrets. So this new area is much less chaotic than the one where Mechanic used to be before. And also, it is much safer now because the save zone size is much bigger. It will warn you much in advance before running into the safe zone and getting shot. And that also applies to all the other traders. So I've also locked this gate in Skier last wipe, you may have seen, but now I've opened this wall around the corner, and you can also now use an extract to go directly to Skier. So it is like the extract is in a safe zone, similarly to Prepper. So that's always also good. And the safe zone size increase applies to all the traders, so it's going to be much better in general. Another very important change is the rework to AI. You'll notice that you're never going to see the same type of NPC at the same location after you kill them. So what would normally happen is that you kill PMC, if you come later after like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, he has respawned, but he still looks the same. He still has the same kit on, still uses the same guns, and if you kill him, he'll have very similar loot. So now their loot is truly random, and their kits are also truly random. And you'd also notice they can spawn with rare items now. So you can find like Ledixes, you can find SSDs, wires, all the things you need for the hideout can be spawning on NPCs now. I've also added the AI PMCs, which you can now find on all of the locations. Basically, they act just like a PMC would. They fight other scavs and they fight the opposing faction. So if you're a USEC and you see a USEC AI or a USEC PMC, they won't fight you. But if you're a bear, they will fight you. The PMCs also spawn with their own loot, and they behave quite differently than scavs and bosses in how they play and interact, because they're also fighting other scavs and other bosses, and they can fight the rogues, they can fight everyone, the raiders as well. So it's just gonna create a lot of chaos on the server. When you're gonna go into the map, you're gonna hearing a lot of gunshots. It might just be other players, it might be PMCs interacting with other players or NPCs. So basically there's gonna be always somewhere to go if you're looking for a fight now. And of course, these AI PMCs also drop dog tags, and they also count towards the tasks that require you to kill PMCs. And this is something that is crucial for the server to function when it is on low pop, because if you want to progress in those tasks and there's no PMCs, there's really not that many players, it's kind of difficult to find them. It's just gonna slow you down in the progression, and that's not fun. So we got these AI PMCs now, and it's gonna make things much easier to progress, and they start spawning if the server is below 15 players. Now, in other changes, I've increased some loot spawns for certain items, and I've also increased the spawn of nodes in certain areas. I've remade the Bradley path, so you'd notice it takes a much larger path now around Woods. He also drives to that new train depot and to the Yuntar roadblock on Woods now. There's also new text in the hideout that shows you where the hideout modules are. So if you don't know where they're located, the physical hideout module, it will tell you where it is, like your stash, your weapon racks, your shooting range. And this is good also for new players who might not know where the stash is, which I know some people ask about it. There's an option, there's now a setting menu in the hideout where you can disable that. You can also disable extracts being visible as well. As you can also see, there's now also a button in the hideout for traders that you can press, and it will show you all the extracts that have a trader in them, linked to them in the safe zone. So this is really helpful as well. And there's also a new warning system about bosses when you're approaching their territory. So if you're going next to domes, for example, or the sawmill in woods or factory, to warn you that a boss is present and that you're gonna need high tier weapons to fight them. This is gonna be very good for new players who might not know where they're going and maybe accidentally wander into an area with a boss and then they die and leave the server. So this is gonna be a really good update for new players as well, because it is much more friendly, much more casual now. I fixed certain bugs where you could still fall through the map. I fixed the D2 bunker if some people were having issues with that, I know. I fixed some bugs with the hideout and also several bugs in the menu with the traders where you were to buy some items from them. So now that we've talked about all the new features and changes with this update, I want to talk a bit about the server like I normally do at the end of these videos. During this wipe, we've actually had quite a bit more players than normal. Still not really breaking anywhere above 15 players at a time, but it was still quite good to see a lot of new players trying out the server. And it helped me narrow down a lot of problems that the server had. So you might have noticed that this update brings a lot of these quality of life features that would be very helpful for new players. And now that I've done that, I think I'm gonna go back to try and promote the server more. So while I said that the next update is going to be a new map, it's going to be labs, I think it is going to take quite some time, because I'm going to focus more on creating more of that. I'm going to create more videos, and hopefully the tutorial video, I'm going to finish it up soon, so that would be up on this channel as well. And a gameplay video, maybe some YouTube shorts. and hopefully that would help bring the pop up, because this is the goal in the end, to have more players. These features of having the AI PMCs and stuff is cool, but I think having actual players is way better for the experience. So while this is going to be the biggest update for the server for a little while until the next big update, I'm still going to add really cool small things here and there. Possibly stuff like the secured container, maybe the UN faction of PMCs, maybe a flea market in the hideout. I think that would work really well with the server, have the flea market economy. Might also do some custom vehicles. I know that a lot of people like custom vehicles, and a lot of other servers are doing it, so I might be able to do something like a custom vehicle that you can drive, maybe something similar to the BTI in Tarkov. And of course, one thing that's been on my list for a while is the mounted machine guns that they have in Tarkov, and I really want that to be in the server as well, so maybe I'll look into that and see if that's possible. Alright everyone, so this is basically it for this update video. All the information of the wipe is going to be in the Discord, in the description of this video, so make sure you're in the Discord, make sure you're subscribed, and if you want to help the project, check out the VIP store that I mentioned, because it really does help pay for the service. And of course, have a great day.